What's up YouTube? Back to another video. Today we're going to be talking about this new Lt1000 race mower that I just got. We're just going to be going over some things, what I'm going to do with this, future plans, and we're probably going to be working on it a little bit just to get it running. Alright, so let's dive right into this thing. So starting off this is a newer Lt1000 lawn tractor model. It is one of the newer lawn tractor models. Just a little crack in the hood, but that is pretty much all. Otherwise, this thing almost looks brand new. Everything on this thing, the only thing that was dirty was the engine. Like, nothing else looks old or used. The transmission almost looks like it just got installed. And, like, everything down there looks clean. The guy before me said that he couldn't get it to crank. So, it's probably the solenoid. That's what he thought. And it sounds like it, so I mean, this thing is a clean lawn tractor, but it's for the channel, and what we're going to be doing with it is we're going to be putting on this ATV suspension on this new lawn tractor. So, stay tuned for that, and we are also going to be upgrading the steering setup to this power steering setup, just a little easier, not power steering, because this, apparently the newer mowers have the first generation steering. Like, this is normally in the older lawn tractors. And apparently, it has the first gen steering, which is weird. But, back here, we have the gas tank. Opposed flat twin cylinder, 19.5 horsepower. 6-speed, it's a Spicer. Sadly, not a Peerless or Tecumseh. So this transmission, I can probably only do like a 5-inch, 4-inch pulley swap on it instead of like a 3-inch like I normally do. Just because the Spicer transmissions aren't as good and aren't as climbable, they break a lot easier, they crack a lot easier. So, but otherwise the transmission, I mean, it looks brand new almost. So, the only thing that's really wrong with it is it doesn't run right now, and obviously all the wiring. So, I guess let's fix that. So, quit talking about this thing. Let's get running. Let's put on this, upgrade it. So now we're going to be fixing this lawn tractor. Oh wait, this isn't the right one. Hold on. There we go. That's the right one. Alright, so starting off, we're going to fix this engine, clean up a little bit of stuff underneath. And then, I already noticed the tire had been spent. These new mowers were made so cheap, which is why we're upgrading. So let's dive right in. Alright, so we got my hood off, and first thing I see is this mount is completely just broke off the hood, this one. And I noticed it also did that on my other lawn tractor, so I'm just gonna have to fix it. Completely just broke off the hood. So I'm just gonna weld a piece of metal from here to here in another episode. But now we expose the engine, so let's get right on to taking apart the carburetor. And just like that, we got our carburetor exposed. Alright, time to clean it up a little bit. We're going to take it off, clean up all the orifices in it, see if we can get this engine running. Obviously, I mean, it hasn't thrown a rod, it's not locked up. So we'll also test the compression in the cylinders, and then maybe we could even start making an exhaust for this thing. So stay tuned. So let's start on the carburetor. So first of all, I'm just going to degrease it. I mean, if I get this stuff in the intake, it's not going to hurt it. It just makes for a clean, easier work surface. Especially right there. I'm going to take off the whole intake, clean it up. I might repaint it. And this is apparently, I think, is a 98 model. So 1998. Tell me if I'm wrong on this, but I think the year of the lawn tractor is the first 2 numbers of the serial number. I've gotten told that before, but I don't know if it's true. So now, what we'll do is we'll take off this carburetor, getting the 2 bottom bolts right there. So they're square heads, so let's go ahead and get it. So now let's take off the carburetor. We got everything unattached, so it should come right off. Perfect. Alright, now that we got my carburetor, overall, this is one of the older ones, but it's pretty dirty. Looks decent though, the intake wasn't too dirty, so it should be super easy to fix. Inside the intake, looks pretty clean. The throttle line still moves and everything. So we're gonna also test the spark plugs, fuel lines, all the other lines are disconnected. Choke. So I guess now what we're gonna do is clean up this engine cover, and then what we're gonna do is start working on this. Okay, so now that we just need to get my rag. Okay. Oh yeah, this cover looks good. And I haven't checked the oil yet, but yeah, this is an actually really new mower. So this is a nicer one. So I can't wait for it to be on the channel and start modding it. And I should have a John Deere and probably a Cub Cadet that's coming soon. Which those ones I'm just going to fix up, make a video about them, and then sell them. Just make a little extra money this summer. But this one, I'd like to keep and mod it a little bit. So, the carburetor, let's start by cleaning it. Take a nylon brush, and I guess I'll show you it when I'm done brushing it. Alright, so we got this thing all brushed off and wiped down. So now what we're going to do is put it in my ultrasonic cleaner. Now we just got the carburetor and the ultrasonic cleaner. We'll leave it in there for about 400 seconds, flip it over, and then do the same thing on all the sides and on the underside. Everything else on this thing looks fairly clean, which is actually super nice. So I guess what's left to do on it is to even see if the starter even works on it. So we're going to attach another battery and some jumper cables to it, see if she'll at least just turn over using the starter. So we just popped my battery in here. I connected both this wire to the starter, and it did and was able to turn over. My ground isn't wanting to ground out, but otherwise she turned over just fine. It sounds like both of them are sparking just fine. So I guess now it's time to flip over the carburetor and my ultrasonic cleaner. Almost done. And then we're gonna open up my carburetor, clean it up a little bit, and then I cleaned up these wires a little bit. I moved them from out here to in there, and then we just have a few other things to do back there. In the steering, I'm gonna pop my battery mount back in there. Someone took it out. So that's pretty much all. So now I'm waiting for the carburetor, and then I'll show you guys when that's done. Alright, so we just got my carburetor back out of the ultrasonic cleaner. It did a wonderful job. This thing looks so clean now. We just got to open it up and then go through all the orifices, clean it up. And while I was figuring out over here is I was testing if either cylinder had spark, and actually they didn't. I had my key on, I was cranking it over, and they didn't. So I disconnected the spark plug wire here, and now they're sparking. So that was the main issue, probably to this thing. And so I guess what I'm going to do is probably just put a switch to stop this thing, and then possibly just put a push button to start this thing. So it's probably what I'm going to be doing soon here. So, but now what we're going to do is we're going to dive right in this carburetor, open it up, and get a fresh look at it. So we just got my carburetor part. The top looks fairly decent. The bowl looks fairly decent. Nothing in the bowl, so that's good. The bowl was moving, so it wasn't clogged. And in here, that's all water from the ultrasonic cleaner. But now we're just going to go through all the jets and in here and knock out all the orifices. And then we're going to take apart the fuel pump, see if we could also just clean out everything to make sure that I don't have to take this thing reapart, and then put it back in the motor, and we'll see if it runs. So we got my carburetor put back together. I ran some air through it and an air compressor through all the little ports. Got it cleaned out, and now I have my hard door back to mount the battery cage back. So I guess I can start on that. And I found out it was grounding out to itself, so I put the spark plugs back in. Now it should run. So Now we just need to put this back together. One of the cylinders is at 79 psi, the other one is at 72 psi. So pretty decent, pretty good for a brand new engine. And I guess let's put it back together, see if it runs. So we just got my carburetor in. I cranked her over and it started up like super fast. The fuel pump's working great. Sounds really good, runs really good. So now I'm gonna put everything back together, and I guess it's time for a test drive. And just like that, we got everything back together. So I guess it's time for a test drive. Put some fuel in it. This thing runs great. So I'm just gonna run it without the battery. Then once I get my test drive done, I'm gonna pull it back in here, finish it up. So we got everything back together. We got all the electrical wired up. This time though, what we did is the key and the solenoid didn't work, even though it had a broken solenoid. It was not clicking, and fuse. So this one I installed and it works just fine. It's my kill button. So now what we need to do is just zip tie some wires together and it should be ready to rip. So that's pretty much it for this episode. If you like the video, please like it, and if you haven't already, please subscribe. If you do not like the video, hit the thumbs down twice, and I guess I will see you in the next episode. If you like this is episode 1 of building a lawn tractor with ATV suspension in the front.